Last night, it was my turn to cook dinner. So I made my family just a really great homemade meal. We made homemade chicken nuggets. I made homemade mashed potatoes, homemade gravy with some peas. It was a great meal. We had a great time eating together. But after the meal, the kitchen was a wreck. I used all different plates. I used the KitchenAid mixer. There were plates stacked up in the sink. It was a mess. And so right after dinner though, Hannah was sitting on the couch and she was just kind of relaxing, and the babies were in the living room. And she suggested that we watch a family movie before the babies go to bed. We had about an hour left. So she made that suggestion. So I looked over at the living room and then I looked back at the sink full of dishes. Now, if you're anything like me, you get totally stressed out when there is a mess. When I have the kitchen that is just totally a mess and full of clutter and dishes and things like that, it stresses me out because I like having a clean space. So I looked at the kitchen and I looked back and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go hang out with my family. And that situation reminds me a little bit of the story of Mary and Martha, which you might be familiar with. This story comes from Luke chapter 10, verse 38. This is what it says. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me." And listen to what Jesus says. "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." For me, I had the choice. Do I go take care of the dishes, or do I spend some time with my family? Because here's the thing. The dishes are always going to be there. Literally, they're going to be there tomorrow night. They're going to be there the night after that. There's always going to be dishes. There's always going to be stuff to do. My babies are not going to be babies forever. Mary chose what was right, and it was not taken away from her, because she was not always going to be able to sit right at the Master's feet. So as you go throughout your days, as you go and look at all the things that you've got to do versus the things that are truly important, maybe you need to decide to focus on what's important versus what's urgent. Ross Runnels is a friend of mine, lead pastor at Canoe Creek Christian Church down in St. Cloud, Florida. When he preached on this passage, he said this phrase about this passage: "The dishes can wait because Jesus is great." The dishes can wait because Jesus is great.